Tim and Brian from Whiskey Idiots with you, and we are super excited about what we're about to do right now. Virginia Distillery sent us these amazing samples of their American Single Malt. We have their standard, the bourbon, the sherry, and the cuvee finish. And so we're going to dive into these. Thank you guys so much for sending that out. We are excited for our first taste of these, and looking forward to providing a review of them as well. So,
yep.
Here we go.
Shall we break into this?
Break into it.
We're not going to get that satisfying pop on these, unfortunately.
No.
There we go.
So we've talked about American Single Malt before with some other lines, and how it's really becoming a much larger force.
American thing, yeah.
Force though in the whiskey American whiskey world.
Yep.
And I love them. So
this is
hoping that this is the same with these.
It's got a good nose.
It's got a great nose.
Wow.
Man. Honey on the nose.
Honey for sure, yeah.
A lot of some fruits
in there. That's good. There's honey in there.
It has those malt.
Those single malt flavors that you typically get.
Notes that you get when you're smelling a single malt.
Yeah, honey.
Whether it be American or your Scotch,
Japanese.
Each of these are 92 proof, which American Single Malt following more of a Scotch style.
Yeah.
Most Scotches fall somewhere in the lower 80s.
Yeah.
Although they are starting to branch out into more higher proof cask strength,
things like that.
So these being 90 almost fits more within a decent bourbon proof.
Yeah, it's kind of a nice, cool balance of you get the single malt, the lower single malt, but you get some of the higher proofs from bourbons and ryes and other American stuff that they do.
It's got a great nose.
It is really good, yeah.
A great palate feel. And the finish is nice as well.
It is.
So it's just really pleasant. Like it's a really pleasant. It's not. I don't get a lot of ethanol on it.
Even though it's a little higher proof, there's nothing. It doesn't even. I mean, does it feel like 92?
No. It doesn't feel like 80, if that makes sense. Like an 80 proof Scotch is very just. It's sweet, it's light, but that's what it is.
And there's no burn. This has got there's slight burn in there, but it's not like it's noticeable above a standard Scotch, but it's not gonna like blow you away if you're not used to that burn either.
This lets you know it's there, but not. There's even like a the malt, I think, is what I'm tasting. There's like a I wouldn't call it funk, but.
Yeah, I know it's
but there's
kind
like
of a nuttiness on the back end. Yeah, I got that too.
But it's sweet, not overly sweet.
Yeah.
I like it. I like it. I'm telling you, you need to go pick up a bottle of
this. This is good stuff. I am a fan.
Yeah, I'm gonna want a much larger bottle of this.
For sure.
And if you have the ability to get this product, man, knock it out of the park. That's really good. Well done. Well done, guys. So I found their tasting notes. So you may get caramel butterscotch on the nose, and then it evolves in the palate with hints of bright red fruit, which we talked about. Some of the fruit you're gonna get, raspberry, and then that funk that we were tasting is probably the cocoa.
Oh, okay.
Cacao, cocoa.
I can see
don't
that.
know. I'm not sure how that's
the
proper way.
Kind of a bittery,
Yeah. So,
I like it.
Yeah. All right, so
So what do we have next?
the American Single Malt Standard Line Courage and Conviction,
Good stuff.
amazing.
Good stuff.
Now we're diving into the bourbon.
Bourbon cask finish. I'm interested in this.
So I'm curious to see.
Because it talked about, on the tasting notes on the standard, it talked about caramel and a couple of other kind
Caramel,
of
vanilla.
standard bourbon notes that you might get anyways.
Right.
So I'm curious, with a bourbon cask finish, I'm okay with that. I
So
love
the
the
nose is different.
It is. It is. It is definitely less single malty.
Yes. Yeah, which is interesting.
I'm definitely getting more bourbon-y notes on this. In fact, just nosing it, I'd be hard pressed to call it a single malt. I'd just say, oh, it's a good bourbon.
Yeah, which is interesting. I don't know if you can see
The color,
it's significantly light.
really light. Yeah.
For if you were to think bourbon, but you definitely. I mean, I don't get the.
Okay, I'm getting some of the stone fruit in it.
Yeah, but not like what. you
No,
got from
nowhere
that.
near what that is.
No.
I have to kind of search for it. No honey. I'm getting no honey on this.
Which would make sense that as it's aged in a ex-bourbon barrel,
Mhm.
that it's going to have a much more bourbon-type nose.
Still very single malty on the palate,
Yeah.
but kind of muted a little bit.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Definitely muted.
Still good. It's just not. It's a little mellower, but I'm not really getting any bourbon notes on the palate
On the
though.
taste there.
Yeah. Interesting. Okay, I'm getting a little more of the vanilla.
I get some of that toffee
Yeah. Okay.
that they were talking about.
Mm-hmm.
It's very good.
It is good.
I'm
Gonna see if there was anything on the aging or the finish.
gonna guess that the age on the bourbon cask is not
It's probably not very long.
very long.
Yeah, I would guess the same. And
That's the bourbon cask.
it's good stuff. Very similar to the original American Single Malt, but slightly muted. A little more vanilla, toffee-ish
Yeah.
flavors on it. Yeah,
So,
very light on the bourbon flavors to it.
do we want to do the cuvee or the sherry next?
Let's save that cuvee for last.
Okay.
Let's try that sherry.
So, jumping into the sherry, which I am a fan of sherry finishes. The fruit that it brings and
Mm-hmm.
those flavors, I just love those. So hopefully it carries through.
This one's a
It's
little darker.
Yeah, a little bit.
Not as light as that bourbon cask
No.
finish. But the
Oh.
original wasn't as
No, it wasn't very.
was darker too. Than that bourbon cask finish was just oddly.
I don't know if it was that
Pale.
much darker, but
Yeah.
but right off the bat,
Wow.
sherry has
Oh,
this
man.
amazing way of really shining through
Mhm.
on the nose
Yes,
that I just love.
that is so good. Oh man.
It's not overpowering. You still get the single malt notes as well. Like it's
Mhm.
much more prevalent than it was in the bourbon.
The bourbon,
finish.
yeah, for sure. Single malt is still present.
Yeah.
It still makes itself known, but adding that sherry note on top,
It's not as sweet
it's not.
as
It's not.
most sherry finishes tend to be,
Mm-hmm.
or at least in my opinion.
It's a good balance. It's not overpowering sherry.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's a good balance. Like I said, I still get the single malt notes. Those are not lost. They're not
No, but the sherry flavors come through as well.
The sherry flavor, yeah, it's a good balance between the sherry and the single malt. That's really
Well
good.
done.
Oh my gosh.
Well done.
Dang.
Virginia Distillery.
We have to find ourselves that bottle for sure.
Again, that 92 proof, hanging around.
Mm-hmm. Good
The
finish.
finish is still there,
Yep. Just kind of hangs on.
lingering in your mouth. But again, no burn.
Mm-mm. It's
not.
warmer than what you would expect from a Scotch, a standard 83, 86 proof Scotch. It's a little bit warmer, but it's not
No.
anything crazy. It's not gonna.
Honestly, I think they have married the finish and the proof well.
Yes.
It's
I
the
agree.
right proof
Mhm.
for what they're trying to do with this whiskey.
This one is my favorite so far. That
Yeah.
single malt is really good, but I think the sherry one is my favorite. The balance is just
I have those two like tied. The sherry and the American.
Sherry and American.
and
Okay. The base.
the base level.
Okay. I think the sherry pulls ahead just a little bit for me on that one.
Really good though. I mean,
It's super good.
it is amazing to me how much sherry I get on the nose,
Hmm.
but how well they balanced it in
Yes.
the palate.
So these two are wildly different. I won't say wildly different, but very significantly different.
Mhm.
But you still get notes from this one. It's just adding flavor to it.
Yeah.
And it's like I said, it's just a great balance. That, like you said, the proof is there, the sherry flavor's there, the American malt, that is the base grain. It's just
Yeah.
that's
Really good.
good.
Should we move on to the cuvee?
Let's do it.
So what did you find out? What is cuvee?
Cuvee. Shoot, you're gonna make me look it up again, aren't you? I forgot. I looked up cuvee earlier.
So it's a high-end wine,
It can mean a few different things.
right? Or a
It
high-end
can-
wine blend.
So cuvee meaning, let's look that up. Type of blend or batch of wine, especially champagne. So it's like I mean, it could be a champagne finish. It doesn't say champagne, but
It's definitely darker for a champagne finish.
yeah.
It's got a great amber color.
So when in reference to champagne, it refers specifically to the first pressed and most desired juice. Outside of bubbly champagne, cuvee refers to a particular blend of wine and typically of more than one grape variety.
Okay.
Okay.
Ooh. That's different.
Mm.
I can honestly say that I have never had a cuvee finish.
I'd never even heard of cuvee.
At port,
Hence why we need to
sherry
look it up.
we just had.
Mm-hmm. Ooh.
There's what's the other one that we've done?
Ooh. That's
What was it a Pinot finish? The
Yeah.
Wellington Greek?
was that what it was?
I don't remember.
Pinot sounds about right though.
But I've had a few different wine finishes on whiskey.
Never had cuvee.
Never had a cuvee.
Didn't even know cuvee was a thing. That's why I had to look it up and make sure we were pronouncing it correctly, not QV or something. But it'd be super fancy.
The nose on this is, here's what I would say, wildly different than the sherry.
It is. It is. It is very. I don't know.
It's
I
not.
feel like it is champagne-y,
I don't get
if that's a word.
the prevalence of the American single malt nose that we had
No.
before.
There is.
It's there. But there's this sweetness that's coming through.
It's sweet.
I don't know what to compare it to. I've never had anything cuvee.
Single malt is in there, but there's some sweeter notes in there too. And that's the hard part is we haven't had cuvee, so I don't know.
Yeah, there are. I'm curious.
Wow. What does the box say, Tim?
So the tasty notes that they sent that come on the package here. Notes of raspberry and cocoa, which I would definitely
raspberry.
light, not like, you know, a punch in the nose, but yeah. Brown sugar, cherry, barrel spice, and I would definitely say there's some spice on it.
Yeah.
Not spice if you're familiar with rye.
Yeah, not like a hot
that
spice.
kind of spice.
Yeah.
But you definitely there's a little bit more.
It's mellower.
Kick compared to the bourbon cask.
But the flavor is, I feel like compared to the bourbon cask, yeah.
But I'm getting that raspberry, that cocoa. It's good.
The raspberry is what's coming through for me. That's that sweetness I could not identify a second ago.
Sometimes when you're tasting a whiskey, taste is subjective.
Yes.
For everybody. But sometimes you're gonna taste something and you're not sure what it is. It's sweet, it's fruity, it's whatever.
I've had that before, but I don't know where.
If the whiskey you purchased or you are drinking comes with tasting notes, read those. Doesn't mean you're gonna get all those things.
You're cheating? Oh my gosh.
But what can happen is you read that and you go, that's what it was, raspberry. That's what I'm smelling.
Yep.
Or there's this funk that we're talking about before. You go, oh yeah, that was the cocoa or the cacao or however you would pronounce that in this setting.
Yeah. And sometimes we look at tasting notes and we're like, I don't get any of that. And sometimes we're like, oh, that's what it was. Oh, that's what it was. Okay. Yeah.
So I am impressed.
Oh, this is great
with
stuff.
The entire line.
The whole line. The whole line.
I think if I had to rank these personally.
Yeah.
The cuvee
really?
is first.
Okay.
Oh, this is for two reasons. One, probably because I've never had a cuvee finish.
It's true.
But I'm enjoying the flavors that I get off of this.
Yes.
And I would want a bottle of this on my shelf. Because I want to go, hey, have you ever had a cuvee finish? And they go,
I've never had a cuvee.
Oh, let me show you what a cuvee finish is.
Let me change your
Second
world.
Would probably be a tie, but if I had to pick one, I'm probably just going to go with the standard offering. I love the sherry was delicious, but I would go cuvee, standard courage and conviction, sherry, bourbon.
Okay.
How would you assort the bottles?
Sherry's number one for me.
Okay.
Sherry's number one.
It's delicious.
I think the cuvee.
That brown sugar is coming through now. It's amazing how that
Brown
happens.
sugar, yes.
It's amazing how that happens.
This is a tough one.
Sweet.
I'm gonna go with the American malt as second.
Really?
The base American malt, the cuvee third, and then the bourbon finish last. That sherry is. But these are super close. These are super close.
They're not close on how you position them.
Is that better?
A little bit.
I don't think they can tell how close this way.
I can though.
Oh my gosh. Whatever, Tim.
So that is our review on the Virginia Distillery Courage and Conviction American Single Malt 92 proof. Again, if you can find these in your area, I honestly don't even know what the price point is on them.
I have no idea. Google it, order
They
it.
sent this to us as a test to review. Very thankful that they did. Thank you guys so much for
absolutely
trusting us with this. Hope we didn't let you down in our review. We didn't get paid for this or anything like that, but this was an amazing experience for me personally. I assume as well for you.
Yeah, I thought that was super cool.
To allow us to try your product in a region market that I've never seen you guys out here in California. But man, I need to find someone to talk to get you out here because this is
amazing.
Amazing.
And
I'm curious to see what else you offer and try those as well. So find yourself some Virginia Distillery.
Yep.
Specifically, this Courage and Conviction.
Mm-hmm.
the story, the history, everything they sent us. It's really, really good. I'll put that in the post as well. But by far, home run,
Super good.
knock out of the park.
Super good.
Well done.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you guys. If you've had them before, throw in the comments. Let us know what your thoughts are on Virginia Distillery. Check them out. We'll link the website in the review, in the post there, and you can go check out their webpage. But give them a follow. They're on social media. Just great stuff.
Good stuff. Good stuff.
So,
Mm-hmm.
Whiskey Idiots here,
Yep.
signing off. Until next time. Cheers.